I'm so excited. Now we're live. I just can't hide it. I can do the little thing back and forth. This is what you get whenever you get me on a live. Hi, everyone. My gosh, I'm excited. I don't know if you could tell by the singing,
A little bit.
via the posts. Yeah, hopefully it's coming across. I'm excited because we are launching literally on this live, the Financial Coaches Network. Josh,
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am very excited. We're launching a new baby, and so I'm drinking my tea out of my baby's mugs, which is just covered in pictures of my babies.
I was like, it's really creepy until you actually said it was pictures of your own babies.
Right. It's not random people's babies.
Is that actually your baby? But today we are launching our business baby. And I'm just really excited to share it. And I wanted to use this opportunity to just share what FCN is, what Financial Coaching Network is, how we came up with the idea, why we're launching Financial Coaches Network, right? Where it fits in the space of everything that already exists. We're going to make the website live. So right now it's a coming soon page, but we're going to go and make it live with everyone on there. And then we're also just going to walk through the different things that Financial Coaches Network offers and who it's for. And we'll take any questions that you have live throughout. As always, you can go and type any questions that you have in the comments. Also, just say hi. Let us know that you're here. Give us a smiley face emoji. Give the whole like wavy hand, whichever one you want to use.
Fulfill our emotional neediness.
I was going to say, he speaks truth to what it is that I'm actually saying. And what else am I missing, Josh? Anything else that you want to add to the agenda?
I think that it's, and we're also going to talk a little bit about our journey, kind of how we ended up here, because I think that informs a lot of what you described, right? Why this is not just one more thing that replicates what already exists.
Correct. So, yeah, that's a great point. So, Joshua, let's go back a little bit in time and talk about just briefly how we got connected and kind of why you reached out to me, because you were the one that actually made the connection and kind of birthed this idea.
Well, it all started a year ago in a small village not really a small village, but about a year ago, I reached out to Garrett because I had seen a lot of conversations in the financial coaches community that were around investments and things that were liability concerns. Not for me, but for financial coaches.
Right, because you're a CFP, you have
financial advisor, all sorts of fun stuff. Registered investment advisor, And I am very aware of my limitations, what causes liability for me, and it's greater for financial coaches. And the concern was the idea of not only could coaches personally get into liability problems, but this could have a bigger impact on whether or not the financial coaching industry survives. Right. And so we talked about doing a series of Facebook Lives on the exciting and fun topic of what you can't say without getting sued.
Yes.
And at the end of that conversation, we talked about doing some more practice management stuff around running the business side of it. And as we had those conversations, we started talking about, well, what if we created something that would help people to do this? So I reached out to Garrett with this idea of there's a lot of stuff for the front office, for actually sitting down and being with clients and helping them and worksheets and the budgets. But there's not a lot of stuff for running the actual business, gaining the clients, having good, solid, research-based marketing and sales processes, integrating the technology, all of that stuff that everyone hates but has to do.
Yeah, and your experience, and so why I think you reached out to me is, one, I've been financial coaching for over 5 years, and you come with the experience of being a tenured professor, have taught entrepreneurship for 20 plus years, been doing business consulting. And so you have, I think you made a very good point. Like there are systems there are programs that focus more on the front end side of the business.
Right.
And there are elements of the back end of the business too. But I think we talk about niching down a lot in this community in terms of what to do with clients. And so for us, just saw that there wasn't a specific program that focuses nearly solely on the back end side of the business, sales, marketing, operations, tech stack.
And not to the depth that's required to actually run a successful business that scales over the long term. And that's not to say that you can't be successful without it, because you obviously were. But it's so much easier when you have the in-depth step-by-step processes, and it's more likely that people are going to be able to be successful.
Totally. And so that's where Financial Coaches Network was born, and it will serve both the where the focus is right now on helping you build and grow the back end side of your business,
right? But
then also there will be the kind of forward-facing advocacy on behalf of financial coaches in financial coaching. Because as you talked about, there are these liability issues that many coaches aren't aware of. And we want to play an integral part in making coaches aware of that, in legitimizing financial coaching as an industry and a profession, and making sure that we as a profession stay in our lane. We know what our lane is, stay in it, and have proactive communication so that we aren't regulated out of what we do.
And having a large enough group that we can go to states and other regulators to make sure that the lane is not regulated out, to be an advocate. You said advocacy, but I really want to reiterate this idea of that if we build a large enough group, in addition to the benefits of your individual business, we have a larger voice to make sure that regulation doesn't come in and shut down your business.
Which it may sound kind of far off, but it absolutely is a possibility, and this isn't like a fear tactic, but knowing regulators and seeing what's happened kind of in the financial planning world, even with some of the XYPN advisors and what can happen with the fee model, the advisors or the regulators come more from the perspective, if I'm not mistaken, of they are there to make sure the public isn't harmed. And their interest is not keeping financial coaches in business. It's protecting the public. Yeah. So that's why we think being proactive in that conversation and coming to the table with a large group and being proactive is important.
Yeah. So those are all the things that we're hoping to do.
Yeah. And so, we covered a little bit of, what it is that we're doing, where it fits, how it's different. Do you want to dive deeper into any of those in particular?
I think let's talk more about what Financial Coaches Network is actually going to do. Because I don't want
a good idea.
Yeah, I don't want to give people the impression that we're just a professional organization that's going to advocate on behalf of financial coaching.
Yes.
And so what we are designing this as is a business incubator specifically for financial coaches. So the ability to build and grow a business, a safe place with resources to help you grow your business at different stages of your journey. We're going to talk a little bit about the products that we have and what we're planning on implementing. And what you'll notice is that there are very specific things for people who are still exploring and trying to figure out, what should I do? There's very specific things for people who are ready to launching their business and growing it to their first $10,000 in annual income. And there's going to be very specific services and products for people as they grow to a full-time income to replace their 9-to-5 job, as they grow beyond that full-time income into a true business with possibly multiple employees.
Yeah. And that's something we've seen a lot in this group, is those people at those very distinct stages, those who are not sure if they're interested in coaching, those who are pretty sure they want to do coaching but haven't yet taken the leap, those who absolutely know they want to do coaching but haven't really started or launched their business, those who have a few clients. So it's one thing I'm really excited about, and you've helped me better understand with marketing, is having something particular for each person where they are at. That isn't like sell to them. It's simply, where are people on the stages of their journey and how do we help them?
Right. Exactly.
And that's honestly been, I think, transformative for me to really enjoy marketing, to not see it as this like, pushy, selly used car salesman thing when creating this, but really saying, just looking at the community, what are the needs that people in this community have? What are they voicing? What do they want? What needs do they have? And how do we put things together that really address those? So that's been super fun and something that I've learned along the way too.
Yeah. So marketing is a wonderful thing if you don't look at it the way that you described it. Unfortunately, many people do look at it that way, as this is something that's manipulative and at times predatory. And then it's not a wonderful thing.
Agreed. Cool. Do you want to show rather than tell, or you want to tell a little more and then show?
No, let's show rather than tell. And let's start with our mission and vision.
Cool. Yeah. So what I'm going to do right now, I promised y'all, let me know if my audio goes away for any reason. Let me know. I think I have the tech set up in the right way that my audio shouldn't go away, but let me know if you can't hear me. Put it in the comments and let me know. So what you have in front of you right now is the back end for the tool that we use to build this whole thing. And right now we have a coming soon, as you can see, page on our website. And so you can, with us, watch us go and actually change this. I'm going to take that off and here are all the different pages that we have. And we are now going to make this website live. Josh, are you ready?
Should I count down?
Sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God, I hope this works. Cool.
Kind of anticlimactic.
I was going to say that was really anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's life.
Well, there it is, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the live. We're going to now leave. So now if we go to financialcoachesnetwork.com, holy shit, we have a live website.
We do.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And there's even a nice little picture of you up in the corner because you're logged in.
Oh my God. Oh, that's great. Should I do this?
No, just leave it.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, everyone, actually, part of what you get by visiting our website is a picture of me on every single page, just to remind you how incredibly self-absorbed I am. That's free.
He's joking, by the way. That picture will be your picture when you're logged in. So
yeah, thank you for clarifying in case people don't get the, I sometimes take it too far. So let's go to our mission and vision.
Yeah, about us.
On the about page, we're going to go down here. Is that coming through?
Totally unreadable on my end, but we can describe it.
Perfect. Well, I can read it on my end. I think it's important to start with our mission. And actually, it'd be helpful for you just to describe what a mission statement is quickly and a vision statement so that people understand the context of how we're looking at these in regards to our business.
Yep. So a mission statement and a vision statement, the big mistake that people make with them is, and I don't mean people like financial coaches, I mean people like out of the thousands of entrepreneurs that I have worked with, the vast majority of those entrepreneurs. And then when you read even Fortune 500 companies, you'll see the same big mistake in many of them. And that is they make it a sales piece. They make it a branding, marketing piece. And what a true vision statement and a true mission statement is. A mission statement is what you want the best version of your business to be in the now. So what is your mission? It is an internal facing document. It's there as a quick reminder of when we have to make a decision, how are we going to prioritize decisions? And the question is, which one gets us closer to our mission statement? Yep. The vision statement is the same idea. It's an internal document, but it's talking about what is the vision we're moving toward? What do we want to build over the course of decades? What change do we want to make in the world? What impact do we want to make in the world? And so that's cool. That's what the mission and vision statement is focused on.
So for us, our mission statement and the thing that helps us make decisions in the now is to help financial coaches build financially successful businesses rooted in authenticity, competence, and confidence. You can see why authenticity is first. If you join me for the very beginning where I was singing, I'm so excited. I mean, I literally can't hide it. So that is a very important aspect of building and running your business. And that helps us really frame how we are serving financial coaches with Financial Coaches Network.
Yeah. And our vision statement is that over the course of our tenure of having this organization, and we haven't really decided whether this is a 10-year or 20-year, and it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But we want to impact the lives of over 6 million American households, changing their financial future and the trajectory of their financial dreams for their children and their children's children by helping financial coaches build businesses that are successful. And so that's what our vision is. And we truly believe that you as financial coaches, you are not providing a service to the public. You are providing a service to the public, that what you do is meaningful, that it is actually does make a difference in people's lives. And because we truly believe that, we want to help you be successful, because by doing that, we can reach a much larger group of people than we ever could on our own.
Yep.
And then lastly, our commitment. Yeah. And our commitment is sort of the financial component of especially our mission statement. And that is that whatever revenues we collect, at least 80% of them, so that is the minimum threshold of the revenues, will go back into reinvesting in the direct resources, the support, the indirect support, and the infrastructure that's needed to help our members be successful. Because ultimately, while the end client is first for us, the members are second, and we're pretty much have our own profit as dead last. Yeah, it's in there right there at that big quotation mark, if any of you guys want to read that.
Yeah, I love that. And maybe that's a little narcissistic to say, but you came up with it, so I can say I love
totally
it.
Say it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, the idea that it's clients before coaches, coaches before employees, and employees before profit. So it always helps center who is that the end client is ultimately the one that we're doing everything for. So kind of centering them like as a mission statement. It's kind of like a mission statement 2.0. And then after clients, it's the coaches themselves, coaches then before the employees that we hire. And just being able to consistently think of that, right, is really been helpful for me. And would you consider that like a mission statement 2.0?
It is somewhat like a mission statement. And there's a reason why it's our value one, right? It's because it is important enough that we do want to put it up top in front, because it helps us to stay focused on when we have to choose between priorities. We are not going to sacrifice the end client or the coaches for the sake of our employees or our profits. And we will sacrifice our profits above everything.
Yeah. And in going through this process, kind of looking at it from a meta perspective, for coaches, getting clear on your mission, your vision, your values, and when you're really, really clear on what those are, sharing them with the world and letting people know what you stand for, what you're about, what that line is in the sand that you're going to draw. In my personal experience, both in my own business and going through this with Financial Coaches Network, it really creates a sense of power where you have a very clear roadmap for what you are going to say yes to, what you're going to say no to, what you're going to do, and what you're going to not do.
Yeah. I will say, though, don't do this as a marketing piece or a branding piece. Don't announce this to the world. What you said, once you get very clear on it, make sure you are ready to live by it. Because nothing will destroy your business faster. And this is true for us as well. Yeah. Nothing will destroy your business faster than announcing something as this is my values and then going back on those values. And people look for that and they see that. And it'd be far better for you not to have it if you're not fully 100% committed to, yes, I can live by these. And that's not to say you're a bad person. You're still developing your business. You're still figuring out what exactly is right or not. It's totally fine to say, I haven't figured it all out yet, so I'm not going to announce it to the world yet. Right? That is a legitimate ethical thing to do.
110%. Yeah. So let's jump into some of what Financial Coaches Network does and who we serve and the different offers that we have to serve them. You want me to head over to the products page?
Yeah.
Launch? Cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to get there by a roundabout way. Here we go. Learn more.
So for those of you at the very top, it says on our products page as well as our Start Here page.
Yeah.
it just has little points in the journey. You can click on those little points and it'll take you to, here are the things that are designed for you, and here are the things that you can use to invest. So it helps you with that journey. But yeah,
totally.
Let's just jump to launch. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think just since you went there, I'll note that there are different options in each of those. So it's, if you're exploring, there's not simply one path. Like we talked about in the beginning, it's looking at this, at where coaches are in their journey and just saying, what are the different resources that we know of and that are available that can help? Yeah. And so that's why there are also people who are at different stages within the exploring stage. Yep. So that's why we give different options based on where you're at, some free and some not.
Yep.
So thanks for explaining that.
Yeah.
Here we have launch. And for launch, I'll just read this. It's an intensive step-by-step guide to launching your financial coaching business in 14 weeks and growing it to its first $10,000 in annual revenue.
Yeah. So launch is right now our flagship product. And the reason why it's our flagship product right now is because that's where a lot of people in the financial coaching community are. Either they have launched their business and they're still working to grow it, or they are exploring and thinking about how to launch their business. And some of them are relaunching their business or may want to relaunch their business. And so launch, what it is ultimately going to provide is it is going to provide a framework for how to actually build that business. And this is a framework that I have brought hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs through. And it is a proven framework for successfully launching the business. Now, this does not say that it's going to give you everything you need to run the business into infinity. This is very focused on what you need to have a successful launch and stripping away the stuff that, while it's going to be important later on, in the beginning, it's a waste of your time and it doesn't provide the benefit that we need to focus on when we're initially launching the business.
Yes. And one thing that I just really, to toot our own horn, or I think is important to note, is how is breaking down again what we offer in terms of specific stages, because there are very different stages that you take in your financial coaching journey. Where you're at when you're getting to your first 10,000 a year is very different when you're making $50,000 a year, and very different than when you have your first employee. And so it's been really fun, honestly, to say what is just the most important things that we can provide for those specific stages, and then build around that rather than kind of having a one size as much fits all. So that was kind of a fun, not that was our first approach, but it's been really fun to say, how do we niche down into those specific needs and tailor them as much as possible? Yeah.
And in addition to that 14 weeks, once the 14 weeks is up, then the focus is on getting to those $10,000 in annual revenues, right? That initial funding, that initial business success. Yep. And to support you with that, obviously you'll be able to go back and refer to all of the trainings that we went through in the 14 weeks, and they are helpful on an ongoing basis. Garrett is actually going through the trainings right now for his business that is 5 years old.
Yeah. And you'll get video recordings of me going through it as kind of a guided practice, which would be cool.
Yeah. We're also going to be providing every month, here are your to-dos. This is what you should be focusing on this month to help you move toward that goal of the $10,000 in annual revenues. We'll be providing a knowledge center that will provide you with more advanced financial planning topics in order to have a resource to go to when consumers have questions, when your clients have questions, but also to be able to deal with the fears of the imposter syndrome. Right? Well, I can't take on this client because what if? Well, great. There's going to be a resource you can go to that will either A, tell you, here's what you can talk to them about, or B, tell you, you can't talk to them about this. Right. Here's some background so you can refer to them to the right person, so that you're not in a continual place of worrying and that's stopping you from being successful.
one thing I do want to just point out, and I'm going to toot your horn, is, why are you a good person? Why should we listen to you? Why about like the knowledge center? How do I phrase this? Yeah, I mean, not the entrepreneurship, but the knowledge center, right? So what is it that you've done that makes you credible in creating this knowledge center for people?
Yeah, great question. I've been involved in financial services for a couple of decades now. My early time was in the marketing field, but I was a C-level executive at a bank right before the financial crisis. And I was a director of marketing for a company that did independent research on technology and internet stocks right before the technology and internet stock bust. In addition to that, I've been teaching personal finance for about 12 years now. So about half of my career as a professor. And I have written curriculum for the personal finance classes that have been adopted by community colleges across the state of California and has been approved by the Cal State University Systems Chancellor's Office as general education for transfer into Cal State universities. I'm also was ranked the #1 financial advisor nationally on Investopedia's Advisor Insights based on helpfulness of answers to people's questions as voted by the Investopedia audience. I have to put all that other stuff in there because legally I have to say what the criteria is in order to say that.
I love putting you in the position to have to explain that every time.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
So that's my area. And then of course being a CFP and all that other, stuff. Yeah.
I remember when, I don't know if it was the first time we talked, but close. We were like, yeah, I'm just a little busy right now, like literally writing a textbook chapter.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Yeah. But I think it's important to highlight, right? Like where this knowledge center and when, what gives you the right to talk about and help teach personal finance, because you kind of been doing it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And more than just me have said, I know one or two things.
Correct.
So, yeah.
So we have the knowledge center. We talked about the guided practice where you get to watch me going through launch or relaunching my own business.
And then one of the things is having a community of other people that are at the same stage as you. So that instead of the large community of financial coaches community, which is wonderful, but you have a group of people that not only at the same stage as you, but you have the same resources so that you can support each other and help each other in building your business. And part of that community is going to be mastermind groups of people that go through the launch program in the same time period as you. So they're literally at the exact same stage as you at every step of the journey. And after the 14 weeks, continuing on with getting agenda topics to identify, okay, what's going to be the most valuable thing for us to talk about this month within our mastermind group, our cohort of people who were all at the same place and we're here to support each other. If any of you have been in a mastermind group before, the biggest challenge of any mastermind group is what do we talk about every month? And so that we're just going to take that challenge away and make sure that you guys can actually support each other and know what is going to be the most valuable stuff to talk about. We've also got some other fun stuff that we're planning in the works.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
let me
announce that soon.
I was going to say, do you want me to head over there? Oh, no. Well, yeah, for launch, we'll hold off on that for now. Yeah. Good call.
So then the question becomes, well, what if I'm not ready to launch? What if I'm still trying to figure it out? Yep. And we have 2 products for that. And we're not going to go to the sales page. We'll go to just this page here and then just describe them.
Cool.
And those 2 products are our pre-launch series. So this is for people who are exploring and people who are committed. I know I want to be a coach, but I'm not quite ready to launch my business. Right. And so for those groups of people, we have a crash course, which is a 5.5-hour overview of what does it mean to run a financial coaching business. We'll talk about financial coaching and the liabilities associated with it. We'll also talk about high-level topics related to sales processes and marketing and everything else. Garrett, you went through the crash course already. And if I'm not mistaken, you made some significant changes in your business based on the crash course.
Yeah, I remember one of the biggest ones was the idea of the total product offering. So it very much thought of what I offered in terms of just this 4-month program or this particular, or the certified money coach process that I go through, but looking at the entire product offering and the entire sales process, just seeing like what is the entire journey that clients go through from the very beginning through the very end and beyond, and thinking about not just the service that I offer, but the way in which I'm delivering that service, how I'm communicating before and after. It was really kind of eye-opening, honestly, just to think in a much broader way of how it's all connected versus more kind of siloed, this service, this communication, which is how I was approaching it before.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with the way that you were approaching it before. You went through a lot of education. You've been through Coach Connections, you've been through Financial Coach Academy, you've been through
Deborah's program.
I mean, you've been you are not someone that was like, I'll just figure it out as I go, right?
Yeah.
And so this is by no means saying Garrett's been faking it for the last year either, because he's put a lot of effort into making sure that he does provide a lot of value. And then in addition to that, we have our pre-launch series, and our pre-launch series is free. This is an 8-email series with 30 of our best practices for what to do to prepare for launch. So this is stuff to do before you launch your business. And a lot of the best practices are stuff to avoid that you may have been told you should do before you launch your business, but it actually puts you behind the 8 ball when you are launching. And so hopefully that provides everyone with a much stronger foundation. And we're giving this away free for a wide variety of reasons, but not the least of which is to make sure that people have the tools that they need before they're ready to launch, to make sure they don't squander big opportunities related to their launch.
Yep. There was even a post, I think a week or 2 ago, that someone had put in the community around where she had mentioned to friends and family, and they were very excited. It seemed like at first, but then when she actually launched, it was crickets. And so, we have it in one of those emails as to how to be able to present it to people in a way that avoids that.
Yeah. And when to present it so that you don't, again, so that you can avoid that. Yeah,
totally.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you want to head to Grow next?
Yeah, let's look at Grow.
Awesome.
So Grow kind of changed our script a little bit related to Grow. And Grow was originally going to be our flagship product. Not to say that the other ones were not important, but it was going to be the thing that we were going to spend the most amount of time on. And the reason why is because Grow is about getting people to a full-time income, being able to turn coaching from a side gig into a profession. And as we built out Grow and worked on it, as we approached our July 1st deadline, we realized that we weren't going to be able to fulfill the commitment that we kind of made to each other about what we were going to offer to people, that we would offer people things that had at least 10 times the value of what we're charging them for it. We were about 5 times the value, definitely not at least 10 times the value. Yeah. And so we're putting Grow on hold for a couple of months, probably a month or 2, to make sure that when we do release Grow to the world. I almost said launch Grow. I didn't want to do that. When we do release Grow to the world, that this has nothing to do with coaches. This is just Garrett and I, that we feel confident that we are fulfilling our commitment to each other, not our commitment to coaches, but our commitment to each other, that we're not going to put something out there that doesn't have at least 10 times the value. But Grow is everything about moving to that full-time income. And so it's going to have more advanced trainings and how-to videos. It'll have templates and tools and resources, including things like when we have the resources to do these types of things, hiring attorneys to write template contracts that you can just download. We'll have business coaching with Garrett and myself, where people can come in and get one-on-one coaching, and we'll record it and make it available to the Grow community so that everyone in the community can grow from it. Live webinars on topics of your choosing. These are webinars where we will be paying the people to do the webinars so that they're not hidden sales pitches, but they're truly training webinars on the topics that you want. A tech stack to give you the technologies that you need integrated without having to deal with it. And that's something that will come a little slower over time because it takes time to identify the technologies, negotiate everything, and then integrate it in. And that promise of 80% of all the revenues going back to you. And what that means is as Grow grows, so too do the features that we're able to offer. And it's all about, what do people need once they've hit that $10,000 in annual revenue and they're moving toward that full-time income and supporting that full-time income. Right now, you click on the get started thing and it's going to take you to it to sign up for an interest list because we made an executive decision.
Yep. And so you can fill out this list with your name, email. We also want input from you of the things that you see as most valuable that you would want out of something like Grow. And then you'll just be added to a list. And like those who signed up before the launch of Financial Coaches Network today, you'll get email updates and special offers and coupons to say thanks for showing your interest. And also those who show initial interest, we want them to be a part of these initial, it's hard to not say the word launch, releases of the various offerings that we have. And so think of it like being a founding member. Right. You know, and so of those founding member groups, we're going to spend extra time getting feedback, making sure that we listen to.
And we're also going to say thank you with product discounts. The launch is currently priced at $350 and then $100 a month for the membership. And for up until December, the end of December, so January 1st of 2021, because number one, you're part of that founding group, but also because we are going to be adding a lot of stuff over the course of this year. We already are very confident we are providing far more than 10 times the value, but we're going to be adding even more. And because you are going with us in that journey and going to be helping us to build it out and make it even more valuable, through January 1st of 2021, we're going to be doing it at half off at $50 off per month.
Yep. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share about Grow?
No. And then the last thing is accelerate, which is we do have plans. This is not something that's like a month or two away, but we do have plans for once we get coaches to that full-time income, or for the coaches that are already at that full-time income. How do what is there to help them? Well, we are there to help them grow beyond that and to scale to a true business where it's not just you earning a full-time income, but it's you supporting employees. And while this is not right for everyone, right? Some people will say, no, I just want to be full-time. Great. We're never going to kick you out of Grow. We're always going to support you in making that full-time income. At the same time, we have to realize that there are going to be people who want to do that, and we will have resources to provide for that.
Yeah, and that's going to be fun, taking it to the next level in marketing and marketing campaigns and white label media materials and all the fun stuff. See, you're getting me all excited and giddy about marketing. I love this. Let's see. So someone just asked, do you have a beta group for testing feedback for any of these particular products?
Yes, we kind of do. So people have signed up for, as an example, we had a group of people that signed up to do a survey in order to give us feedback. So we've done that. Those people will also get a get crash course for free. Mm-hmm. And everyone who signed up for the email on the website ahead of time will get a crash course for half off. And we will be using those as our beta group to be able to add to crash course and find out what do we want to focus on and expand. More though, it's going to be launch, and launch is the beta group is this first year with the half off and everything, the half off the monthly price, so that we can continually add to and build it. And that's going to be where we're going to spend most of our focus and our resources, because ultimately that's where we see the biggest need.
Right. Yeah. Based on, is it okay if I share overall percentages of where people are on the survey? It's, I don't know what statistically significant is, but we had about 40 people respond to that survey that we put out. And thanks to everyone who did that, because I know you had to watch through about 40 minutes of videos, which based on your feedback, we cut down to about less than 20 minutes. So thank you all for your feedback.
5 minutes each.
Yep.
Yeah.
We, oh my gosh, my brain just went like, the number of people that we had in that stage of either considering coaching, so they weren't even necessarily sure if they wanted to start coaching, or had just started coaching or were interested in launching, but hadn't necessarily even had more than 1 or 2 paying clients, were about 80% of the respondents. And I think based on what I've seen in the financial coaches community group, that's those who are curious, not sure if they want to be coaching, or still pretty confident, that they want to become coaches, but haven't taken the leap or haven't had a paying client yet, is in between probably that 50 to 75%. So that's why also making launch a priority is based on survey feedback, what we've seen in the group.
And that's also why we do the 8 email series for free. Is, remember I said it was a whole bunch of reasons. One of them is to make sure that people don't squander opportunities. Yep. But it's also to allow people to explore it in a little more detail than just asking questions in the financial coaches community, which is a wonderful thing, without having to commit money to it, so that when they're ready to say, okay, I want to look at this in even more detail, they've got a better understanding of, this is worth spending the money on to figure it out, because I've already gotten these free resources that help me figure it out better.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it went a little over the half hour or so. We thought was sometimes we just get a little excited and want to talk about things. It happens. If there are any questions that you all have, ask them in the comments, so that in case anyone who watches the replay has a similar question or the same question, then we can make sure to answer that and have it live in perpetuity in the community.
Yeah, you were going to say so it'll get buried at some point.
That's true. I actually think I cut you off. Was there anything else that you'd wanted to say, or we're in the middle of saying?
No, I was just going to say we're both kind of verbose, so
it happens. Yeah. And excited. I think if you didn't catch my dance at the beginning, truly, like, to be able to share this and put this out there into the world, it just feels very, very, very freaking good. Because at every stage of the process, and as we talked about with Grow, is saying, does what we're putting together and putting out create at least 10 times the value and serve the living crap out of the people who we're intending it to reach?
Yeah.
And so at each of those different stages that we showed you on the products page, which is like, if you are at this stage of your business, if you're still exploring, here are the things for you. If you're committed, here are the things for you to check out. And so for those of you watching, definitely head to financialcoachesnetwork.com, click on that products page, or I think you can also get there via the
Start Here button.
So if you go to the home page and you click Start Here, it'll take you there right to the products page as well. And just see, based on where you're at and what it is that you need, check out those different offers. Some are free, some are paid, but we would love your feedback as well on anything that you check out, so that we are confident and that we could just make sure that what we have provided for you is that which is most helpful.
Yeah. And we adjust according to feedback, like a lot based on the survey. So,
yeah, the survey, we spent a lot of time inputting it. And again, like, thanks to everyone who took the time. That wasn't a small amount of time that we asked for, but we got some really, really good feedback and we implemented it. And we're really excited about what we were able to change because of that. So, well, we have some things to do. I have some coupon codes to email out to 100+ people who asked for information ahead of time, which was freaking awesome. So a couple different emails to send, some other stuff to do. So let's call it.
Yeah.
Like looking at the clock, I'm like, all right, we got stuff to do. It's launch day. Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone who checked out the video, joined us live. So excited. Anyone who watches the replay, ask questions that you have, put them in the comments. We'll make sure to get back to them. And just thanks for everyone who's in the group, man. I love y'all. This is so much fun putting this stuff together. Josh, thank you for being a hell of a partner. And I'm excited to be on this journey.
Yeah. And go financial coaching.
Yeah. And take your creepy baby mug and enjoy the rest of your day, Josh. Just one more time, just show it to I'm going to bring this so it's big enough for people to see.
They're my babies.
Actually, they're really friggin' cute. On the call today.
Oh, no. Come on. Look at that.
That's pretty adorable. That's an adorable bit. How old is little Joshua?
Little Joshua is 3.5. And Eviana is 14 months.
Nice.
It's harder when you're doing the months because you have to like get it. What day is it exactly? Yeah.
We were on the phone call before this live, and Joshua was sometimes happy, sometimes not happy. It was the adorable. I'm like, he's got to be around 2 or 3, just in the way that he was expressing himself. It was adorable.
He is 3 going on 30. But it's good though, because he understands how an electric motor works. He understands quantum physics, and that particles don't move from one state to another, they jump, and that the energy that allows them to jump from one state to another is a quantum. So, just little things like that.
Maybe that's why he was crying, because he was bored out of his mind with Dad trying to teach him about quantum physics. I mean, I love quantum physics. Don't get me wrong. Amelia and I were watching a video on YouTube, about a 3.5-hour video a couple days ago, but you're hilarious.
I have to ask you for that video.
You are hilarious. Everyone, thank you so much. We just had a question come in. Will there be another opportunity to take the survey? So that specific survey, probably not, but in a different form.
That specific survey, no. But to take a survey that gives us feedback and also has benefits to you guys. I think that Garrett and I are both, so I'm just going to talk out of turn, and Garrett, you feel free to shut me down. But I think
this is something we haven't talked about together. So just hit them with it live, Josh.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel pretty confident that both of us are very comfortable with what I'm about to say. And that is that when we launch Grow, that we are going to want feedback to make sure to confirm that we are actually providing the benefit that we believe that we're providing. And that we will probably do another survey, and there will definitely be some benefits associated with that, as well as many of our other products. I will say that check the comments. This next thing I can't say without talking with Garrett about it first. So check the comments. We will add a comment to it to answer that question at the end, or we might just send you a private message as well.
Perfect. Final question was, when will you launch Grow? We aren't entirely sure yet. Probably in the next couple of months.
Yeah, we are probably going to be doing, so the interest list is forming. We will keep you up to date. So
and I'll make sure to post that in the comments.
Yep.
So you have easy access.
For Grow, we may do it in a phased launch with a soft launch and then a bigger launch. We may do it in 3 phases with a very initial soft launch, then a bigger launch, adding some more features in, and then just like we're doing with launch. Really should have thought about.
We should have come up with better names.
we may have a period of time while we are adding even more value in to get us far beyond that 10 times where it is a discounted price for a period of time. We haven't figured that out. It's going to depend on what we exactly think about with our rollout timetable now that we have to go back and say, okay, let's really beef this thing up.
Yeah. So. And if you, in that, I think you hear the, I don't know if ethos is the word I'm going for, but for getting feedback at every step of the journey, you know, and
being willing to listen. There's a lot of people get feedback and do not listen. So
yeah, we absolutely want to incorporate the feedback that we get. And so taking the time to do that. And I think for something that is going to be as robust as Grow is, right, with everything that we're going to offer in there, we want to make sure that we can live up to, like Josh said, delivering at least 10 times that value. And so, you know, to answer the previous question also of, you know, will there be more opportunities for surveys? I think that JB Bradford asked is, yeah, I mean, we're going to be asking for feedback at a lot of different stages. And
especially amongst people who are the members, because those are the people who want to serve the most.
I was also going to say, and if you join any of the products and or buy any of the products or join the memberships, like we are going to, you know, Feedback Fridays have been bounced around as ideas. Like we're going to continuously make sure that what we are putting together is serving you in the best damn way possible.
Yeah.
We commit to that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you everyone for your questions, for joining us, for like watching me as I dance and do all these ridiculous things on this.
For watching me as I Frank Sinatra it. You get that reference?
I don't. I'm too young.
Yeah, he had a song, I Don't Dance, Don't Ask Me.
That's hilarious. My God, questions just keep coming in. This is great. Woo! Does Launch offer guides or trainings in marketing? Josh, I'll let you take that one.
We do. So in addition to the Launch program has 4 sessions. Now, when we say sessions, it is 4 weeks. And it is packing as much into the week as we can responsibly think a person could handle getting done in a week. There's also a matter of things need to build on each other as well.
Totally. So for each week, it's generally like 90 minutes to a couple hours of videos, 2+ hours of videos. You have the guided practice that you go through, that I go through.
So that you can see how to do it. There's specific home office work so that you can, so that you know exactly what you should be doing. And there are worksheets to help you do those exact things so that you know, okay, this is what I'm going to be getting out of this. This is the tangible deliverable, not just the videos, but the tangible deliverable that I'm going to get and how I'm going to use that tangible deliverable in my business. And we'll, in addition to the 4 sessions, the 4 weeks that are devoted to sales, there are weeks devoted to marketing materials. There's a week devoted to your website and your driving traffic, a plan to drive traffic to the website. There is a week devoted to your launch plan, which is taking all of the stuff that we're going to be putting together over previous weeks marketing related and really putting it in a cohesive plan to launch to the world and then figuring out what those steps should be to launch. Yeah. There's a reason why we called it launch, even though it's kind of funky. And so, yeah, yes, there are a lot of marketing stuff. My career is in marketing prior to, well, my second career was in marketing. So I spent a lot of time with it.
And what I'll say, having gone through Crash Course, going through Launch, is what is most helpful is, well, you've been a professor for 20+ years. So the way in which the content builds on each subsequent piece. And I think what has been most helpful is getting that information and saying, here is how you put together level 1 marketing block. Here's how you put together level 1 sales block. And here are the different kind of little blocks that go into that larger block. And then as going throughout, you say, okay, well, now when you're writing, when you're putting your website together, here, put this block that we created earlier here.
Here.
Right? When you're creating this type of marketing, take this block and put it here. Now that you have a conversation with a prospective client, take this, your mission, the things that we came up with at these different stages, and plug it in here. Yeah. And so being able to have kind of the foundational pieces, know where to put them and how to use them most effectively has been one of the most helpful things that I think, or that I know I've gotten out of launch, and I think others will too.
It's about having a step-by-step process that you can go through and follow, while at the same time making it wholly and fully unique to you and who you want to be as a coach and as a business. Yeah.
If you have any follow-up questions to that, Alta, just let us know. We want to make sure that we answer.
And Grow is going to have a lot more marketing stuff in it. Accelerate even more. Because as you move through your business, marketing becomes a bigger and bigger, and sophistication of marketing gets bigger and bigger. And so we will add to the depth and the breadth and the sophistication of the marketing resources as you move through your journey and go from the product that's right for you to the product that's right for you to the product that's right for you.
And actually, one thing I want to add to that's important is what we tell, or what the directives are to not do with marketing. Yeah. Because I think so much time, and I can own this 100%, is we as newer coaches spend so much time on doing things that feel like they're helping, but are actually hindering. So spending an excessive amount of time on a website, trying to, trying to write a blog every week without any kind of
and say blog.
And so I think it is just as much here are the things to do, as well as here are the things not to do, because those are squirrels that will take your attention away from the things that will actually get you that $10,000 in a year in annual income. And again, that's what we're focusing on.
Yeah. And it's not to say that blogging is not important, because blogging will be a part of Accelerate.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to identify, okay, how much benefit am I going to get for how much effort do I put in? And we want to focus on the things that have the highest benefit to effort ratio, realizing that those will only take you so far. And at some point, you're going to have to move into the more sophisticated, broader, deeper stuff in order to move you beyond the 10,000 to the full-time, and beyond the full-time to the scalable business. But we don't want to look at, well, heck, Rick Edelman, who is a financial advisor, has a nationally syndicated radio show and has 16 different articles and blogs and does speaking engagements at conferences and all this other stuff.
And so I should too.
He's got a 50,000 employee company. Right. That's because he does that stuff because he has a 50,000 member company.
Yeah.
And so you want to be very careful about looking at successful people, identifying, oh, what are they doing for their success, and saying, oh, that's what I should do, because what works at different stages of your business is not the same for success.
Totally. So both, you'll get a lot of stuff on what to do and a lot of stuff on what not to do yet.
Yeah. And the yet is important.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love these questions just keep coming right as we're about to jump off every time. So I'll say,
I love it.
I think we're done unless another question comes in, and then we'll go from there. I think for reals this time, we're about at the hour. So I think we're going to call it regardless.
Perfect.
Josh, thank you for your time. Everyone, thank you for watching and joining. And we are so excited. I'm just going to go visit the website for fun, add to our Google traffic. One more visitor join that I can get excited about. And wow, now it's live. We can point people to it. I don't even know where to go from here. Are we done?
Well, I mean, with the
live, is it, right? We've arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more business to do?
Yeah, I think we have to do some work part of it.
Shit. Well, all right, on to the next stage. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your hump day. Bye.
Bye.